Today we're going to be making some seriously good smoked St. Louis barbecue ribs. Juicy, tender and packed with that smoky flavour that we can't get enough of. Whether you're cooking these on the smoker, indirect on your barbecue or in the oven, they are lip-licking good. I hope you're all well. I'm Shane, welcome back to It's Cooking Good. So I've got myself here a lovely rack of ribs. These are proper spare ribs, not your baby backs. Have a look at those bad boys. Cannot wait. So I've left them actually with the rib tip on because I thought I'd show you how I trim it up to make these into a St. Louis rib, and we're going to cook both up. Arguably, or at least for me, I'll be honest, the rib tip is where I think it's at. It's my favourite bit. Don't get me wrong, I love ribs, but that is something a little bit special. So let's trim this up, and we're going to start by finding where our bones end here of the rib, and I go a few ribs in and I can feel the bone there, so I know we're going to make a cut across here. That's it. Make sure you've got a nice sharp knife. Just go all the way along till you end up with something that resembles, just go all the way through a bit like that. So here we've got our lovely rib tip. Put that to one side, and then here our St. Louis rib. Now you can trim this up. We've got a few bits here, so I'm just going to trim that end bit off. We'll just make it nice and sort of a bit more presentable. And then again, I'm just going to chop that last rib off there, so we've got a nice clean cut. Don't worry, none of that will be wasted. Now I have taken the sinew off here. I've shown you how to do that when I did the baby back ribs. If you haven't seen it, have a look at that video. But you get the sinew. If your butcher hasn't done it for you, get a kitchen towel and peel that off. You don't want that on there. But this has been actually nicely trimmed, and I like this fat, but I am just going to trim off some of these. So I want to make sure that smoke sort of penetrates nicely into that meat. Only a little bit. I've already taken off most of it, to be fair. Actually, that looks pretty good to me. And that is it. So now we just need to season it up. Those of you who've watched the channel before, you know that I like to make up my own rubs rather than buying store-bought ones, ready-made if you like. And I use the same rub on this that I do for my briskets, which is a very simple mix of salt, pepper, and a little bit of paprika, just for a little bit of colour. So no binder needed for this, and just liberally coat this up. Nice. Make sure you get all those sides. Give that a rub in. Let's flip it over. Same on the other side. Lovely. Again, those edges. And then that's it. That's our St. Louis ribs done. And then for our tips, or tip, you could cut this up into pieces if you prefer. I like to keep it whole and then slice it once it's been cooked. But do whatever you prefer. That's it. Make sure nicely covered. Pat it in, and that's it. So I now want to just leave these for about half an hour. The smoker's still heating up. We need that to reach temperature of 135 C or 275 Fahrenheit. Once it's there, these should be ready, and then we can get them on. So I'll see you shortly. So our Traeger's up to temp. Our ribs have had their half an hour. Let's get them on. So we'll go straight on with our rib tip, and I'm going to put that towards the back, and then our rack of ribs, and they're going to go bone side down initially. Okay, and these are now going to cook for 2.5 hours. We'll come back to them shortly, probably in about 45 minutes, and give them a spritz with some apple juice. Okay, so these have now had 45 minutes, so I'm just going to give them a spritz. I've got some apple juice in here. Just lightly spritz them up. Lovely. Looking great already, taken on a lovely colour. That's it, perfect. Close that down, and then we'll spritz them again in another 45 minutes. Okay, so our 2.5 hours is up, and thankfully the rain has stopped for now. So let's get these ribs out. Oh yeah, looking good. I'm just gonna put them there for a second, and then we'll bring the tips out in a minute. And what we wanna do is just put some butter down on some foil. Now I'm using 2 sheets of foil here, only because as the meat starts to shrink back, those bones have got a chance of popping through. So I just always double layer it and just get some bits of butter there and just lay it all along the bottom. There we go. I think that will probably be enough for that. And then to that, I want some brown sugar. So I'm using like a dark, it's like a muscovado sugar. And give that all a good sprinkle around. And then here I've got some of my homemade barbecue sauce. Now I'm using this one because it's actually quite a thin sauce and it works really well for this stage of the cook. So I'm going to put some of that in there. Give it a good thing. I will put all of the details of the recipe of my barbecue sauce. As a matter of fact, it's an Aaron Franklin recipe. I've used it for a long time and it's my favourite. Okay, get your ribs, and then this time we want to go meat side down onto that and then wrap that up. And this needs to be wrapped pretty tightly. So let's fold in both sides and then let's fold that over and we'll bring that in. Give it all a good squelch up, make sure. That's it, one done. Let's get our gloves back on. And let's bring our rib tip out. Okay. Let's get that in. And this time, make sure it's meat side down. In the smoker, bring out the rib tip. So again, as I said before, if you wanted to, you could cut this up into smaller pieces. It's entirely your call. Same again, butter. Lovely. I'm going to use some of that brown sugar as well. Good sprinkling of that. As a matter of fact, I'll just use the rest of it. And with this one, I'm going a little bit different. I saw this in the supermarket. It's the Encona chili jam, and it is absolutely delicious. Picked it up yesterday, and I thought, you know what, let's give it a slightly different flavour profile. So I'm going to squeeze a load of that in there. Problem is, the chilies seem to get stuck in the spout. That looks good. Okay. With this, it doesn't really matter which way round it goes. Just like that. Only got the 1 sheet of foil on this one. That's it. Give it a roll. And that can go back on the smoker. So that's going to smoke at the same temperature for another 2 hours. So time to crack open a beer, sit back and relax. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so our 2 hours are up. Let's have a look. Let's grab those ribs out. Let's have a look. And what we want to do really with this now is just open this up and just check them. Let's just prod it. Look, that's just gliding through. That's exactly what we want. There's no resistance at all. So I just want to now flip those over carefully. Oh, look at that colour. And I'm just going to hit it with a little bit more of that barbecue sauce just over the top. Oh, yeah. And that's going to go back into the smoker for about 15 minutes. Make sure I don't spill any. And let's grab out our rib tip as well. Let's close that. I'm going to push that one to the back now. And let's have a look at this. Let's see how it's turned out. Actually, I'm going to take these off. It's easier. The money shot. It's hot. Very hot. I've been battling with the weather. I'm telling you, the storms we have had today, it's been like a game of cat and mouse. I've been in, out, in, out. Okay. Let's just... Well, that tastes good. Do you know what, actually? I'm going to have to put these back on. It's so hot. Let's just check it. Got loads of juice there. Hopefully you can see that. I'm just going to roll that up because we're going to do exactly the same with the rib tips, or tip. Just roll it all up. Oh yeah, the smell, that jalapeno chili jam smells wonderful. Okay, let's just check it with our probe as well. Let's see how that's coming out. Oh yeah, look, that's just gliding through as well. There's still a touch of resistance in the middle, but that's fine. It's got another 15-20 minutes in that smoker. Oh yeah, can't wait for that. So let's get that back in the smoker at 2. Just want it to tack it up a little bit, and as I say, just feels like it could do with probably 20 minutes, not the 15, but we'll see. We'll check on it. Let's put it back in. That's it. So I'll see you shortly when we can give these a try. Cannot wait. Okay guys, so I took these out. I put them on the board. The weather played against me again. Sorry, I've been fighting the elements here. We've got our ribs here and then our rib tip here. So let's cut in and see how they have come out. Actually, do you know what? I find it easier. Flip these over. You can see where the bone is. There we go. We're going to cut through. Look at that. Just glides through there. Oh yeah. Look at that. That looks amazing. Let's move that out of the way for a second. Let's cut into this. These are the money. Oh, look at that. Cut them into nice sort of chunks. Look at that. Look, just falling apart. Oh, we've got to give this a try. Let's try this rib tip first. Do you know what? For the first time in a long time, words can't describe this. This is... Oh, I'm speechless. It is absolutely gorgeous. Fall apart. That is the money, without a doubt. Just try one of the ribs. And these look delightful. The flavour, actually, that Encona sauce is given to those is really good. It's not overpowering. It's not too spicy. It's got a nice little hint or a whiff of jalapeno, which is perfect. Look. Oh. Guys, these are unreal. They're moist, they're smoky, sweet. Oh, God. I could do that whole rack, but there is a family of 4 of us who are all standing behind you, wanting some. Little bit of bone. Guys, I know it's a bit of a marathon. As I said earlier, you could do these in the oven, offset barbecue, or if you've got a smoker, do it on the smoker. Either way, it is outstanding. Definitely give this a go. That's it from me for today. I really appreciate you tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please also like, share and comment. If you try this or if you've got a variation on it, let me know. I'll put all of the details of today's St. Louis ribs and rib tip down below in the description as always. And all that's left for me to say is until next time, it's cooking good.